but what was the magic? I needed the magic. And it wasn't until I took a good, cold, hard look at what I was eating that I realized that was a major problem. I had been drinking Diet Coke constantly. I mean, I did sleep and stuff like that.
Right.
But since I was probably like 10 or 11, like it was just always in my house. And then when I got to college, like going and drinking gallons of it basically from the 7-Eleven. It was behind my sorority. We would go there and we studied. It was, I mean, like huge double big gulps. I mean, we used to call it Sevies. Like they had a
I
nickname.
used to do that. I used to pick those up on the way to high school. Like I would drive and stop and get one of those, and
Yeah.
that is so crazy. And I just want to take another moment to properly introduce you again. We are live on Facebook now. It took me a minute, but if you're just watching or if you're watching the replay, this is my beautiful friend and client, Erin Wathen. Erin, like I said earlier, is just an all-around powerhouse, and she's one of the most witty people you will ever meet as well. And Erin has been all over the media with her message, and she's just really creating a movement about how to change your diet, not only how to change your diet the way you feel, but the root of what is causing that. And what's so powerful about Erin and the way that she teaches and the way that she shows up is she's not telling you, she's not giving you a strict diet. She's not telling you to do keto. She's not telling you this is the only way. She helps you through her book, which is right here. Why Can't I Stick to My Diet? Get a copy. We're going to put the link up top. You can grab it on Amazon and get your copy, because it's not only a heartfelt story about what she went through and the struggles and the wins and the victories, but how to get to the root of what is causing the cravings and the reason behind why you're eating. And if you're a mom watching this, you can use these tools to empower young women or men. And so, Erin, I just want to thank you again for being in my world. For Erin's in our high level mastermind, and it's such a pleasure to have her, and for really showing up this way, because it's so beautiful to have someone like you that can bring a little bit of a sense of humor, but also can help to get to the root of the issue and have the success. So you were just talking about bad habits, right? We all have bad habits. And I mean, who can relate? So when I was in high school, the same, I would go and pick up those big gulps, right? Every day I would get one too. And that's what you were saying. And so when you had that big transformation, so if you're just joining us, Erin was saying how she had a really big transformation about 9th to 10th grade, losing 30 to 40 pounds. That's a lot. And so what did that do for you emotionally? I want to hear that.
Emotionally, I felt empowered, quite frankly, because I went from being ignored to, first of all, the girls wanted to know what I did.
Right.
The boys who thought I was just someone that could help them with their homework wanted my phone number.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I felt like this is the way to be listened to. This is the way to be bigger in the world, is to be smaller. So it was very empowering, and it gave me just a big, huge boost to be skinny.
Right.
And that's great now, but how do you stay skinny? That was the problem. Was if I was eating because something was wrong, there was still something wrong. I just happened to be thin at that moment. So it was the staying there. That's the problem.
Right.
And what a lot of my clients and readers, what I hear all the time, and I so get them because I was there forever, is sure, we can all lose weight. You can starve yourself or count whatever, and whatever, but is it going to fix what got you there?
Right.
And
right.
and it can be something as easy as you go out to dinner, you go out to eat too much, or every day you come by, this is the Quickie Mart or whatever, and you get ice cream because you're stressed out. I don't know what it is, but these little things all add up. And it can seem as simple as, I'll just do keto. Well, keto is a short-term fix for a long-term problem. And what are you going to do at long-term problem? Because you didn't just gain the 10 pounds because they just fell on you from the sky. Like, you made a choice and a choice and a choice and a choice. So let's talk about that choice. And the irony of it all is everyone's cleaning out their closet right now, right? That Marie Kondo show, did I pronounce it right? On Netflix. Like even all these Goodwills and donation places are saying they can't handle the people that are dumping off because everyone's like just watching Netflix and just, you know, tidying up, and nothing gives them joy. They're ditching it. So I look at it like that. Like if you just shove everything in your closet, it's you can't use the stinking closet. But if you just open it up and dig it out and just actually do the work, then you can go about your life. So if you actually are willing to do the work on why you gained the 10 pounds, and maybe that means you and your husband have to have a conversation about how often he works, or you and your mom need to set up some boundaries because she does not understand to stop asking you about, you know, how many kids you're going to have or whatever it is. But 99% of the time, the problem is not food. It's how you relate to food because of a relationship you have. Because
okay, I want to pause right there because I want everyone to take that in and how powerful that is. It's not about the food that you're eating. It's about what's the trigger that is having you, you know, say, I don't want to feel that, so I'm going to go get a Snickers, or I don't want to feel that, so let me go stand in front of the pantry and see what I can eat just to pass the time by, right? And you know what's interesting, Erin, is I'd love to hear your take on this. I witness children just out of boredom, and I did that as a child, just when you're bored, right? So boredom is another reason. I want to know from you, with the clients that you've worked with, what have you seen has been like a really powerful breakthrough that a client's had that maybe was eating a lot, could not lose 15 pounds no matter what. And it's probably because, like you said, they weren't really getting to the root of the why, the root of the why they had the habits they had. So tell me like a little bit like a case study about a client that you've had, that you've worked with, or someone that's even just read your book and has been able to have a breakthrough with the emotional component to this.
Yeah, sure, no problem. One definitely comes to mind. She was always fighting 5 to 10 pounds. Everyone thought she looked fine, but it was always on her mind. And I knew her socially, but she actually wanted to officially go through me, and which is good because I like that clear-cut relationship.
Right, completely.
So I said, okay, so what are we doing? What do you actually want to do here? And she said, I really want to get down to a certain number. I said, okay, so what do you think is getting in your way? And she didn't know. So I had her give me her food journal, and it really wasn't anything huge, but she was drinking and eating a lot when she went out with her girlfriends. Now, if Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are splurge-oramas for you, let's just do the math. That's 7 meals. There's right. 20 meals a week. If you're going way over what you should be doing, a third of the time, that right there is why you're plus 10, right?
Right.
So we talked a lot about what is a celebration, what is enjoyment, what really matters when you're with people. Is it that you're eating pancakes and I'm eating pancakes, or is it you and I connecting on a deeper level and really like understanding that we love each other and we can have fun? I mean, do you care if I'm eating pancakes, or do you care that I'm eating?
You know what? I don't care. And actually what I love is when I'm with a friend that's a good influence. That's like, I'm going to make a healthy choice. And this is kind of what I'm thinking. Or like, I don't want to have the glass of wine. I'm going to get some tea or whatever it is. And I think that actually for me, I appreciate when I'm connecting with a friend and they're choosing a healthy choice, because it makes it so much easier for me to make the healthy choice instead of being like, well, if you're going to eat that, then maybe I'll eat that, right? Because we do all, it is. So maybe this is about also choosing the right friends that you go and eat with.
And that's the thing, is like food isn't the problem, but it becomes a problem.
Right.
So just getting her to reevaluate like how she looks at celebrating, and also she deserves it, and the on-off concept. So for those of us that have been dieting since, like for me, 14, we have this, black and white, we're good or bad. So she would splurge all weekend and then restrict all week. Well, your body's really confused. Ideally, we eat pretty much the same most of the time. for our metabolism, for our weight, just mentally. So we're not so obsessed with food.
Yeah.
And if we always eat about the same way, our weight's not going to fluctuate. Like unless it's like, that horrible special time, I'm within a pound.
Right.
So
I want to just comment to some of the people on Facebook. Cami is saying that she loves your book, by the way. And Sandra is just talking about the power of food journals and eating out and the calories and serving sizes. Trisha Robertson is saying hello. And Stephanie is in full agreement with what you're saying. So I just always love to acknowledge everyone that's on and listening. And I want to know, like, for you, kind of a lot of my audience wants to write a book, right? They want to share their voice and share their mission. So can we go like behind the scenes a little bit about what it feels? We don't need to go into like the journey of birthing the book per se. We know that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But what does it feel like to actually have your book that is so much more than a book, right? You're helping people connect to the root of an issue, of an underlying problem, of something they need to deal with. How does it feel to you now that your book has been out, now that people are reading it and sharing this message? Like, how is that feeling to you?
It's surreal and it's rewarding and it's strange all in the same way, because I think I was talking to you in a coaching call or something. I said, I feel like I've been pregnant, 9 months pregnant for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Because it's like, here's your baby to the world and you spend a year promoting it and a year doing this. And then you're like, I hope everyone thinks my baby's cute. I hope my people buy my book and Michelle Obama's, so it's a very surreal time. But also, of course you expect your friends to buy it and they're going to give you thumbs up. But when people you've never heard of text you or email you or whatever, how they reach out to you and say, hey, your book changed my life. I've lost weight because of you. I've gotten my husband and I off of sugar. That's amazing. Or like when a magazine reached out to me, and this I thought was really cool. They didn't believe that I was 35. I'm 43. So they wanted to verify my date of birth to make sure I fit in their demographics. I thought that was kind of neat.
Wow. I didn't know that. You definitely don't look your age at all.
Well, thank you. I don't act it either, right? So, but the thing is that, so when people that don't know you and have no reason to be nice to you are saying really positive things, that's rewarding. But, when you take away all those fun little details, I wanted to basically write a book that I wanted to read 5 years ago. What would have gotten me across the line? And so my book is basically in three sections. The first part is like my story. So why should you listen to me? Like, really, why me? Why now? And I don't just have the life experience. I've also went and got a lot of education. I have a bachelor's in sociology. This is not a nutritionist by trade. So I had to go and get extra training. I went to Iceland. I did all these random things in order to understand the science behind it. Mm-hmm. And for me, understanding that food is seen as a drug by our body and we have a chemical reaction to it. And if you don't believe me, think about kids the day after Halloween. They are the walking dead. They are so strung out on sugar. They're so just awful.
Moody. Yeah.
They're just zombies. Most teachers will tell you it's the worst day of the entire school year. So understanding the chemical reaction and how even if it's 300 calories you burn on the elliptical, I can have a cookie.
Right.
Well, maybe calorically you won't have a gain on the scale. I don't even want to go there. Your body will have, oh, great, sugar and flour, super, and it's going to react to that. So you cannot escape the chemical reaction of these foods. So understanding that more than just eat green vegetables,
right,
has been very helpful. And then when I was doing my coaching, I saw that all roads were leading to relationships. All roads were leading to relationships. So I went and became a life coach as well, so I could coach people at a higher level and understand what to do with them when we got to the relationships, other than saying, well, your mom's the problem.
Right. Oh, yeah, totally. And that's so important. And again, I just want to acknowledge you. And if you're just hopping on, this is Erin Wathen, powerhouse leader. She is the author of Why Can't I Stick to My Diet? This is a beautiful, gorgeous book. Go get one if you do not have it yet. It's such a great read. It's interesting. It's funny. And it really helps you with some tips as far as how you can not only lose weight, look better, but really feel better. And, you know, Erin, you've seen the work that I do, and you know that like when you tap into your truth and you really dig deep and let go of some of the wounding and the emotions you carry around, it is like you lose 5 pounds, right? And so I love what you're doing is because you're doing that in your own way, but helping people to see their issues and their patterns with food. So I think that is so brilliant. I want to ask you, and again, Erin, I'm so proud. Erin is in our high level mastermind. I love having her be a part of that. And I want to ask you, Erin, what is your big scary dream in all of this? It's been so beautiful to watch your business to go to the next level and thrive. And I want to know, what's your big scary dream in all of this?
I used to think my big scary dream was to go on Oprah, but I think that's sort of not necessarily my big scary dream anymore. My big scary dream, and I don't even have like this thing that represents it, I want to change the dialogue around weight loss because we're focusing on the wrong things. So we have all these women and little girls, because I have a 13-year-old, who think it's about the food, right? And they think it's about being skinny, when it's actually about what's before the food. So with my daughter, she's 13, and she's sort of my human guinea pig with a lot of stuff. And I noticed a couple months ago, some ungreat habits were starting to form. Mm-hmm. So as anyone with a mother of a daughter, or anyone that had a mom that said the wrong thing, which a lot of us have those mothers.
Of course.
Yeah, right. I was like, what do I do? So I just remember talking to her a lot about where your thoughts are and how are you feeling, and just really breaking it down for her about, you know, what's going on in your head. You know, your thoughts lead to your feelings, and so she understood that she could always pick a new thought. She could always choose again. And whatever's in that fridge, we have pretty decent food in my fridge, is not going to fix the thoughts and the feelings in her body, because that, you know, the only thing that food solves is hunger. It does not solve the fight with your friend. It does not solve being left out from the slumber party, unfortunately. So that we need to talk about, that we need to drill down on. So I want to change that from like a high level and a low level. So I'm working on a book, like Coaching Your Teenager, because for me, I was able to get a kid who had major social anxiety to now is a completely different kid in 6 months, because I was able to talk to her about, honey, that's not going to solve it.
This is so brilliant and so important. And because I am not a mom at the moment.
You are a teenage girl. So I
know about teenage girls, and I have, nieces and nephews. And it's also just really like even thinking about my own journey, but how empowering because what you're also doing is you're having a personal development conversation with a teenager with something that they can relate to. So instead of saying, how is this going to help? Or like, I know that you're hurting, but is this cupcake going to fix it? Or is a bag of Doritos really like, what's up with you? Like, let's put this back in the cabinet, or, back on the shelf, wherever, if you're at the store, and let's get to the root of what's up for you. And so, Erin, what I love about this movement that you're really, you're really creating is a beautiful opportunity for mothers to stop a lot of childhood trauma and to stop a lot of obesity issues and anorexia issues. And so I'm so glad that you shared that with me, because I think, and with everyone listening, because that is so powerful to be able to intelligently have a conversation with your child or with your niece or your nephew or your brother or your sister about why, like, do you really want that? Do you really want, and sometimes you might just really want to bite of something. Okay. Like that's okay. But if you're doing it over and over and over and over again, that's when it's like, okay, this is a numbing, just as a glass of wine would be, or, you know, whatever it is that is your choice of numb, you know, sugar can be too. So that is so powerful. And there's some hearts coming through on Facebook. And I just want to say it's such a pleasure to witness this. And you wanted to say something?
I wanted to say, so I have a son as well, and
Mhm.
he's 9, and he's very aware of feelings, and to a point where he's like, I don't understand how people can sleep at night knowing they're suffering. I mean, if anything, I need him to kind of like empathize with the world.
Right.
So my girlfriend called me the other day, and she was saying that, you know, Liam and his friend were talking, and in the back seat, and the boy was complaining, and Liam said to the little boy, he goes, well, he just doesn't like himself very much, because happy people are not mean.
Oh, that's true. That is very true.
But I'm saying, but like, it just, and she's like, you could tell he's the son of a life coach. I said, well, I mean, I tell Liam, like, don't take crap from people, but also know that at a higher level, that person isn't happy with themselves. So whatever you do, they're not going to be happy with themselves. So maybe you need to give them a time to figure themselves out. So let's not go to their house until they figure themselves. So I mean, so even, I'm saying, so, but the thing is too, is as an aunt, as someone in a child's life, you have an amazing opportunity to be that influence when you're with your niece and nephew, to be that, you know, when you're checking in with them, to say those little nuggets, because oftentimes as a mom, unless you're really aware, you're just too busy saying, brush your teeth.
Right. Or clean that up.
Yeah. So you're in a great place to get those little messages into your
That's true. I'll start being more conscious about that too. All right, well, I know our time is almost up, but I wanted to ask if there's anything else that you want to leave everyone with. Again, this is Erin's book. If you have not gotten a copy, the link is right above. Go grab it, click on it. You must read it. I want to know what your biggest takeaways were. Read it and then tell me, post below, let us know. But before we go, Erin, is there anything else that you want to share or leave everyone with?
As far as like the biggest thing I think a lot of people need to understand is, so it's still January, we're still in that New Year's resolution frame of mind, but if you always doing New Year's resolutions, maybe that needs to be evaluated. So you can always make a new change, you can always have a start over, but are you really willing to, just to go back to the Marie Kondoing everyone's doing, just do it once. It will not, you know, and so many of us, like you were saying, like with the Doritos, we want to change the channel, right? We don't want to feel that. And you know what, this is the crazy thing is, so let's just say, and this is maybe I'm just picking on mothers today, but your mom says something dumb. She asks the wrong question, whatever. And you don't go for the ice cream. The first time you feel like you're going to jump out of your skin. If you just sit with it and journal or write or watch something, whatever you do, but you don't eat, you will not explode. I promise.
Right.
But the first time you do it, and after about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you will realize you can do it the next time. So just start with that. And if you notice, I'm not telling you like a quarter cup of spinach. I'm talking about the before, because so often these diets are all about the food. And I know a lot about nutrition, so I value nutrition deeply, but it's the before we make the choice, because let's face it, it's a heck of a lot easier to go for the chubby hubby than to sit there and just sort of think about your mom and what she said and what it could mean. But you will not explode if you just sit with it. And you know what? You'll probably actually get some insight. But the problem with the ice cream, not just calorically and biochemically and all these other things, is that's an opportunity you're not taking if you do not go there. So what if right there is a learning moment you're supposed to have about your mom and you and the whole thing? But if you chose to do a deep dive into the ice cream, you're never going to get there because you're too busy having ice cream and freaking out about it and going to spinning class. So sometimes these little crises are meant to be there, so we have those uncomfortable moments with ourselves, so we learn from them.
So what I'm hearing you say is food, when we have these cravings, it's actually a beautiful opportunity to grow and expand and let go of some of the stuff we've been holding on to. And what I loved hearing you say is instead of going for the spoon or for the ice cream, why don't you pick up a pen and grab your journal? So I think that's a beautiful tool to leave everyone with is when you're hungry, instead of going for the ice cream and then having to freak out and go to spin and do everything else, like Erin just said, what if you grabbed a pen and started to journal and tune into really what's up for you? And then that's going to help you. And then you can get someone like, find Erin and get her to help you with a suitable plan that feels good. That's exactly what you want. So, Erin, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. I'm so excited for the success that you've had, that you're having. And I know the best part is this is really only just the beginning for you, sweet friend and sister. I know that there's so much more magic, and I can't wait to continue to hear the success stories from your unique style and empowering style and expansive style of coaching and helping people to feel amazing in their bodies and also to look the way they want to look. And I know that this is only just your first book, and I can't wait to see what's next. And again, if you have not yet, grab this book. The link is above there. Go get it right now. You can tell I'm an author, right? Go get this book. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, comment below, tag Erin Wathen, and we would love to help you. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.